Path Media. I was a minimum wage movie theater usher that made good and became a top earner in my network marketing company. Now, after 16 plus years in the profession, I'm finally teaching myself how to leverage the internet with online marketing and social media marketing to continue to grow and expand my business. My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer. All right, welcome back to the show. In this episode, we're going to kick off a series. It's going to be 2 or 3 part series. So make sure, if you're not already following the show, hit that plus button or whatever it happens to be on the particular app that you're listening on, so you don't miss anything, right? There's a new episode every day, at least until we hit 100, and we'll see what happens after that. But since this is a series, you're not going to want to miss this topic, because I'm going to be covering some pretty important stuff in the next episode or two. So again, go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit that follow, whatever it happens to be, on the app that you're listening on. Now, before we jump into all of that, however, I want to remind you that our Facebook page is up. Well, our Facebook community, our Facebook group page is finally live. It's facebook.com/groups/Path of the Network Marketer. And this is going to be another great resource for you. Number one, it'll be a place for you to be able to communicate and connect with me outside of this show, that is. And also, it'll be a great place for you to ask questions and share whatever challenges that you might be going through, right? And then get outsiders' perspectives. I want this community to be a place where you can find support as you build your network marketing business outside of your existing support structure. Of course, I'm sure, you already have a mentor, you already have leaders that are helping guide you. Sometimes, however, it helps to get an outside perspective, outside of your company, outside of your existing team. So again, that's what my intention for this group page is: building a community where we can all kind of support each other on our individual journeys, and therefore elevate the profession as a whole. Again, it's facebook.com/groups/Path of the Network Marketer. Of course, you can just do a search in Facebook and it should come up. Now, speaking of communities, that's really kind of where I wanted to start with today's topic. It is really all about communities. Again, I've talked about this in the past: 2 prevailing cultures, predominant cultures in network marketing. There's a profit-driven culture. There's a community-driven culture, a culture that's driven and focused on connection, right? Now, the profit-driven communities tend to be a little bit more, less permanent, right? And the cultures that are driven by community and connection, there's a lot more stickiness to it. I mean, that's what the community does. That's the strength of building connection and building community, is that it creates a lasting business. For me, my 13 plus years in my existing company, the only reason one of the main reasons I believe that I've been able to maintain a business for this long with one single company is the community that we've built. Again, there's a stickiness to it that you don't really necessarily get that level of longevity in business if you're just driven by profit, because you can find profit anywhere else. And if you create a culture that's driven by profit, people that join that team or that community can go find profit somewhere else as well. So it's less sticky, it's less loyal. That said, with a community-driven culture, yes, there is longevity to it. Understand that with that community comes people, right? Comes human nature. It is still largely a people business, right? And that's, I think, regardless of whether or not you take your business online, whether or not you're leveraging social media or the internet, network marketing, I think, will remain largely a people business. It's all about connection, no matter what the tool or strategy you use. So because of that, it's not always going to be sunshine and daisies, rainbows and butterflies, right? Like, I know that, on the surface, especially from the outside point of view, we present a very kind of happy, sunshiny, kumbaya image of ourselves in the network marketing space, which partly, I think, is why we seem so crazy to the outside world, right? It's all about hand holding and sitting in front of a campfire, playing guitar, which I do, I love to do, but I I also recognize that because it is a people business, human nature is still involved, there is an ugly underside to it, right? Like there's a flip side to it, that we can't disconnect from or detach from. I mean, you can't detach people from a people business, right? You can't detach network marketing from human nature. So with the good comes the bad. With the beautiful comes the ugly, right? And so it's a natural thing. Now, yes, we are. With communities that you build, you can build incredible support systems that people can and will lean on, for the rest of their lives if they have to. Again, I have built a business with the same company for the past 13 years, and it's been some of the most amazing, beautiful interactions and communities that people can lean on for support. Like, I have people since day one that have been my customers, and they keep coming back because of the community, because of the connectedness that they find within that structure, and that's all beautiful. Again, I still want to also recognize that there is going to be some ugliness to it, right? And you can't really get away from it. It's just part of the deal. It's part of what you sign up for, especially as you grow your business, as your teams get bigger, as you grow more and more into a leadership position. You're going to have to kind of deal with more of this and recognize that it's going to come your way, and it's unavoidable. And also too, like, it's, you don't necessarily want to avoid it. However, my goal here in this series, in these next couple of episodes, is to shine a light on it, because it's a real thing. It is a real thing, and so, I don't want anybody to be disillusioned about the profession once they start seeing this dirty, ugly underbelly of the of the profession, right? Of human behavior. Again, you can't detach human nature from the business if it's a people business. It's not possible, right? And also too, I think for this episode, I want you to understand, and we'll get more into this in tomorrow's episode and the day after that, but I want you to understand that primarily it's not people themselves, it's behavior, right? It's behavior, right? Like, we want to detach the behavior from the individual, so that way we're not painting people as good or bad, or as ugly or mean, and some are good, some are evil. It's not like that. Everybody is well intended. It's the behaviors that sometimes don't translate as well, right? Don't translate as well. So there is going to be some ugly behavior. You will inevitably experience that ugly side of human nature, and so just be prepared for it. What you have to do is fortify yourself, not protect yourself from it necessarily, but to understand that people will ultimately revert back to old patterns when they're protecting their business, as they're well, yeah, depending on what they're operating under. If they're operating under survival, and some of these other kind of base patterns, some of these behaviors are going to come out, and so just be aware of that. Again, detach the behavior from the individual, and as a leader, you'll be able to better deal with it, and most importantly, understand, approach the situation with understanding, as opposed to being reactive, right? Being reactive. So that's something you're going to have to do eventually as you step into a leadership position. What's the saying? The more animals in the barn, the more doo-doo you got to clean up, or something like that, right? As your teams grow, you're gonna encounter more and more people, therefore more and more different personality types, therefore more and more different behaviors, right? And so it's something that you're gonna have to really develop. I think the main thing is for this series, for me, is to really point out these behaviors, so that you aren't disillusioned, and you're going into this business thinking it's gonna be all sunshine and daisies, right? You're gonna see some stuff, and we're gonna talk about that stuff here in the next couple of episodes. So that's gonna do it for today. Tune in again. If you haven't already followed or subscribed to the show, hit that plus button, or whatever it happens to be on the app you're listening on. Leave me a 5-star review if you feel so inclined, and of course, share this episode with everybody that you know. So I know my sign off is always tough, but my point is, what I was trying to say was, we'll catch you in the next episode. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you tomorrow.